This is the Transformers Generations Studio Series Voyager class Optimus Prime. Figure is part of the first wave of the Voyager class figures for the Studio Series Generations Transformers. I picked up this figure at R-Toys, and boy, is it an amazing Optimus Prime figure. I mean, everybody's excited about Blackout, Grimlock, and Starscream, but no one's really been paying attention to Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Great Optimus Prime figure. Sure, he's small and all that, but the details, pin-apps, this really cool set of blades accessories more than make up for his slightly diminutive size and overly priced price point. Here in Manila, it costs about $2,400, $2,300, which roughly translates to about $46, $48. Yikes. But really super cool. Just to mention, it is actually a clear plastic blade with some Transformers inscription on it. It's the same inscription, I think, just painted silver. We'll talk more about the details of the figure, and specifically the paint apps, articulation, and all that later on. But before we do that, let's put him away. He comes with a comes with a nice little diorama insert, and it is from the scene from the Revenge of the Fallen when he's in the woods and he's trying to tell Sam, get back. He's trying to protect Sam from Megatron and Grindor or Blackout. Really cool, and he has that logo, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Here is a quick look at the packaging. This is just, you know, your basic Transformers packaging, which we've seen from Age of Extinction and The Last Night. The dynamic Transformers logo right here, Studio Series number 5. Very cool. Some photoshopped image and a really nice pose he's in. Here's the rest of the assortment for Wave 1, backdrop included. Very cool, and I think this is probably my favorite rendition of Voyager Optimus Prime. Very close to the leader class, Revenge of the Fallen leader class Optimus Prime, because of the details, alt mode, robot mode, the proportions, and all that. We'll talk about that. Here is the instructions. Number 5. Okay, one last look at him before we get him in, before we talk about details of the figure. Really cool. So let's take a closer look at the Studio Series Optimus Prime figure itself. Fantastic amount of details on this figure. Let me put him on the turntable so you guys can appreciate it better. As you can see, it's one of the better renditions of the Revenge of the Fallen, the Transformers the movie, Dark of the Moon. Well, at least Revenge of the Fallen, Optimus Prime. And I love his proportions on this one. You can still see a backpack on him, but it's much flatter. It's not as bulky. It's not as obtrusive or conspicuous as previous incarnations of the figure. I love these new accessories. They feel like they do come out of his arms or forearms. And the paint apps overall are just amazing. I love the gunmetal gray plastic they used, that probably airbrushed it or gave it a good metallic wash. Nice flame on him, which you'll see that more in alt mode. You can also see the metallic flake they used for the red plastic that they used for this Optimus Prime. It's a very deep type of red. It's not your regular fire truck or red Optimus Prime. It's really bordering on a Takara Tomy figure, and I'm kind of glad there is some form of unification. It could be good, it could be bad, but at least if they're all the same for both Takara Tomy and Hasbro, we're sort of assured of some form of premium paint apps for the figure. Okay, let me get rid of this. Let me show you more of the details of the figure. The head sculpt looks fantastic. I wish there were more silver though. The chest are fall panels. The real truck windows are right there. These are just they fold up in the engine assembly. It's okay. It makes it more accurate. The sculpt makes the chest more accurate, but they're fall windshields. They're not the actual windshield. And this hinge piece right here, if at all, if I'm going to nitpick, is probably the only thing that's very distracting from this entire sculpt. But everything looks great. His ab section, the waist piece, legs. Just really getting a good vibe out of the sculpt of this particular figure. Incidentally, you can, if you want to, store the weapons on the back. Oh, he does not have a gun, a blaster. That's probably one thing missing from this figure. That'd make it super perfect. Had they given to him some form of blaster, the one he used for Revenge of the Fallen, the one that had an RPG. So you can store it here on the back, which is pretty cool. These tab in right here. So yeah, I'm really liking the design of this particular Optimus Prime. He is a little bit small, but yeah, really liking it. Articulation for the figure. He's got a ball jointed neck. He's got a waist swivel. He's got ball hinge shoulders. Just be careful when you're posing these shoulders, because this particular shoulder, the right one, tends to pop off. Well, it's not popping off now, but if you don't lock it properly right there, it will pop off as you're posing the figure. He's got a bicep swivel, hinge elbow. Let me just show you the wrist. He's got a swivel wrist, ball hinge hip, very tight, thigh swivel, a little bit hindered because of the wheels. He's got a hinge knee, and go like that, so you can get him in really nice dynamic poses, squatting, running, lunging. That's pretty cool. Ball hinge ankles, very nice. Swivel and a hinge that give you the rocker tilt. Okay. And just to show you how awesome the articulation of this figure is, he can do a Iron Man superhero drop. Eat your heart out, Tony Stark. Look at that. It's like just I'm so amazed with the articulation of this figure. I mean, no other Voyager class Optimus Prime can do a superhero drop like this, or drop stance like this, or crouching stance like this. You can do a Spider-Man crawl if you want him to. I mean, really nice. Well done, Hasbro and Takara Tomy. And another pose I have him in is when he's just slashing away at Starscream and Blackout or Grindor. And he's like, and you can get him in this really dynamic pose. I just love it. I love posing this figure. Sam, get out! Alright, and for some size comparisons, here is the Studio Series Voyager Optimus Prime with two other Voyager class figures. Movie figures, the Revenge of the Fallen, Hunt for the Decepticons, Battle Blades Optimus Prime, the figure which he's taken from, or inspired from, as well as the Evasion Mode Voyager Optimus Prime from Age of Extinction. And he stands just under 7 inches tall. Head to toe, he is about 6 2/3 inches tall. Compared to these guys. These guys are a full 7 1/4 inches tall. He is about 7 1/4 inches tall. So almost 3/4 of an inch shorter than the two other figures. He's small. He's shorter, but I think detail-wise and accuracy to the film between these two and even this guy, details of this figure compared to this guy, I think he's got the best details, best paint apps that Hasbro's done compared to the other two. Unfortunately, I don't have the Last Night Voyager class Optimus Prime. I already sold that off to a buddy. So yeah, there you go. Let's transform Studio Series Voyager Optimus Prime. It's a little bit of a chore, not really of a chore, but there's a little bit involved transformation, but it is very satisfying. It's one of the more satisfying transformations for this particular character that I've done in a long time. All right, so this is the official transformation for the legs, although personally I'd like the wheels to just rest like that. This is how he came packaged. The fenders are already in alt mode. This is how he looked. The legs would look like in alt mode, at least the wheels. And I personally like this version better than the official transformation with the wheels up. It's more accurate to have the wheels up, but this one gives it that G1 vibe. So if I do display this one outside the box, this is probably how I'm going to display the wheels. So that's the unofficial. This is how he came in packaged. So you'll have to transform it back up for the official robot leg mode transformation. So transform him, it's best, I think, just follow the instructions and do the arms first. You want to rotate here this way. You can open the panels if you want to, but for me, this is the end position of the arms, so might as well get it to that position. You can flip open the panels all the way out like that. Untab the shoulders right here. That sternum or hinge piece is going to go down. The windshield is going to compress like that together with the shoulders, and this whole assembly is going to form the engine part of the truck, the Mack truck. But before we do that, let's transform the arms first. Fold up the wrists and the arms like that. Open the panels this way and rotate them like that. They don't tab in anywhere on the fists or on the arms, or but they will tab somewhere. From this position, you want to go ahead and rotate the shoulders to this position. That way his tummy is like the front part of the truck. Okay, so like that, just like that. It's best if you rotate this one so you'll have more clearance. You're going to rotate it anyway. So the instructions tell you to transform the legs as you do this, but for me personally, I like the legs, transform the legs later on so that you'll have a stand. It helps, it will help you work with the arms, transforming the arms and getting them into position. So that's that. Okay, don't worry, it's all going to be a solid thing. Okay, these two panels, these were like, I was like, whoa, I had no idea the grill was hidden there. First time I transformed it, I was like, what? The grills were nicely hidden, tucked in behind his back. So that's pretty cool. Okay, go ahead and fold it this way. Okay, like that. And they are supposed to compress and sandwich that whole truck assembly, that whole front part of the truck engine assembly. And that's the grill. They should tab in. The Autobot symbol is a little bit offset. You can't blame them. There's a tab there that goes there, so it's going to be offset to the left, a little bit to its left. So, yep, if you've done that, then you're in good shape. There's a little bit of a gap clearance right there. That's fine. That's part of the alt modes look transformation. Okay, let me back that up again. All right, so at this point, you can transform the legs now, but again, like I said, I like to have a stand, and so I can work on the top part easily. You can start transforming this part of the robot. You can go ahead and, now before you do that, you want to open this one up so so that there's clearance for the neck and the headpiece. Open that back part like that. Open this one like this. Just prep it. Sorry. Okay, like that. That helps the head clear that whole back panel piece. Okay, so you don't have to turn the head around or anything like that. Works fine. So until it snaps in place, that's fine. Okay, right now you can already see what's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and fold the roof up there and tab it in. These pieces right here are going to form the side of the cab right there. Okay, and then these tanks are going to fold in right here and tab. It's a very tight tab. If you're going to transform it back, it's very difficult to pull out. What you want to do is you want to fold. Well, you can just pull it out if you want to, but it helps if you do this. You push it forward, push that tank forward. And is it a tank or whatever? That cylinder, you push it forward, and it'll snap out that particular hinge joint. Okay, so tab it in tight, nice and flush. Okay, and these, they just go like that. All right, so once you've got into this position, this step of the transformation, then you're in good shape. Okay, the back part of the truck. Okay, from this position, that's the robot mode position. Rotate the tanks down and fold the panels down 90 degrees, and then just fold it in, and they sort of form the cab like that. Okay, and then these will go like that. Those are the tanks, the petrol tanks again. Then untab, don't just fold up the waist assembly, like the waist joint like that. There is a hinge right here in the midsection of the torso and the hips. You untab that. It's a big tab. Fold it all the way up here. Don't worry about this one hitting the feet. That's fine. Okay, just leave it like that. Okay, untab it like that. Okay, then the shoulder pads, shoulder armor, fold it up like that. Untab the front wheels from the legs, from the thighs, just like that. And there's a peg hole right there for that peg right there. Okay, and that's the front part. You're in good shape. Go ahead and fold the tanks down, and they tab in right there. There's a tab right there for that hole. Same on the other side. That. Okay. All right, and there you go. That is probably one of the more satisfying transformations for this particular figure. The swords, obviously, can stay right here. And there you go. Let me just see if it rolls properly. Yep, it does. Very nice. There's enough clearance for it to roll nicely. A little bit of a gap here, but that's fine. It's not as obvious. Rolls okay. For size comparisons, here is, I'm not going to compare it with Battle Blades, but with Evasion mode. Obviously it's small, because this one, I've always felt this figure was very small. As it turns out, it's one of the taller ones. And big alt mode. Is it in scale? Definitely not, but I didn't think, it's not as small as I thought it would be. I thought it would be much smaller, like a deluxe class, but it's not. It's a small-sized Voyager class figure. Not too bad. Okay. All right. Very nice. Okay. Talk about the paints. Paint apps, you can see it clearly in alt mode, that metallic flake red they have on him. The blue, even this blue has a little bit of flake on it. Some sort of slightly metallic gray pieces. That's fine. Wish there were more silver. Nice silver paint right here, but I wish there were more silver here and there. But I guess this is how a truck looks like. Not too bad. Nice flame on it. Wish there were more gold on it, but that's fine. Rims, had this been just purely Takara Tomy, I'm sure they would have painted the rims, but since it's a joint effort with Hasbro, you can easily paint it, I'm pretty sure. Customizers can do so. Okay, so put him right there. Nice little diorama. You can display him this way. It's looks very nice. All right, and some final thoughts on the figure. If you already have the Battle Blades Optimus Prime, do you still get this figure? Absolutely. I mean, I think despite being a little bit shorter than your regular Voyager class, or even this Voyager class figure, he just beats this figure in detail, sculpt accuracy. Well, that's my opinion, and just the accessories alone should be enough to purchase this figure over this figure. I mean, sure, he's bigger, sure he might have more plastic, sure his plastic is probably better than this one, but the Battle Blade gimmick doesn't compare with this one. So he's a little bit pricey right now, bordering $48, $50 here in Manila. I'm sure in your part of the world it's cheaper, but $50 versus something like this for $30 or $25, is it worth paying double, almost double? I say yes. This is, I think Hasbro did a wonderful job with this one. This is, in every right, is a good figure, but I think he is just better. So if you can find him on retail, or if you can wait for him on clearance, I highly recommend you get this figure. So there you go, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Optimus Prime. Thanks for watching. And here he is, all stoic, standing at attention, ready to be stored and put back in packaging. Go ahead and tab them together. Okay.